I just covered some of the items with just what I had on hand. And they seem to do okay. Some of the other stuff that was coming up, I just covered it with a little bit of dirt, but it was a lot of corn to cover, so I just covered my Three Sisters planting. The corn was coming up, and I had a squash or two coming up, so I just covered them with dirt, so that should save them. My husband came out and turned the sprinklers on at 3 o'clock to try to keep to protect these. So far it looks like it worked pretty good. We may have to do that a couple more times again in the future, because I think in the next 3 or 4 days we could have a frost again. So far it looks pretty good. But the wheel line just absolutely was white underneath this morning. I've got to thin a lot of those. The corn, my seeder wasn't working that great. It was kind of having a few glitches, so I'm definitely going to have to thin some. I tried to put some squash seed in at the same time as the corn, so I could just plant some squash along with the corn, and the squash seed would get sideways in my seeder, so it would clog it up and I'd have major issues. I covered the green beans with frost cloth, and sometimes you don't really know if they're frost damaged until you actually see them later that day. So far they look pretty good. I'm just going to leave these row covers on for the next few nights. That's the beauty about row covers, and I just placed it kind of with dirt so the wind wouldn't blow them off. That's the great thing about these things. And then I can just leave them on for the next few days while it's kind of cold and windy, and frost possibly at night. This is a small bridge we have right back of our house. It's about 30 feet from our back door. We have the irrigation water that runs through right here. It delivers irrigation water to us and to some Patreons beyond us. But it's kind of nice in the summertime. I'm walking through to the high tunnel. I was just going to check and see how the peppers and the tomatoes fared last night. I did not cover anything. I just closed the high tunnel last night. This is some calendula that I kind of harvest some of the petals off every now and then. And yeah, it looked like the peppers did okay. Looks like the tomatoes also did great, but I would expect that in the high tunnel because they've been out here for a while, so they're hardened off. I've also kind of got some lettuces that are going to go to seed here, kind of in between, so I need to be pulling those. And the tomatoes, I'll go ahead and start getting them tied up and kind of one stemming them. I'll trim the bottoms up as they grow. It tends to get a little less like a jungle in here that way. This is the cilantro going to seed. I kind of left some because I just kind of needed to get a little bit more seed for next year, so I'll go ahead and just let this one grow out and collect it. But one thing with cilantro, you definitely need to continue to plant it every couple weeks if you're wanting to have some when the salsa and your tomatoes are ready.